Hello and welcome to Dance Teachers Academy. I am your host, Jose on the mic, and with me as always is a lovely and fabulous, amazing dancer. Ame, how are you doing?
I'm great, Jose. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. We have a treat today. With us, we have a rather accomplished, too many things to sit there and say about this man, so we're going to let him run on his own. Michael Raisch, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, glad to have you. Dude, I am digging that thing around your neck. Sea turtle?
Yes.
I don't know if the people can actually see that, just kind of show bling. See,
Yes,
right?
very
Applause.
nice.
Applause.
Yes.
So, if you would please.
Yes, Michael Raisch. I'm glad to see you. The last time we saw each other was in Savannah for a competition.
Yes.
You were there with a student. I was there with a student. It was a great competition. It was in May.
Yes.
We're now in August.
And it was great being with you. We've never really spent time together, just chit-chatting and sharing the whole experience of the competition with students and stuff. So
that
was
wonderful.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And usually the experience of dance teachers is that, like, let's say we worked in the same studio. We'd see each other all day long and never talk because you're busy with your students and teaching and talking. And so it's just nice to have time.
It is. And that's the part of the beauty of the trips, going to competitions for the students and for the teachers alone, because we do get a chance to get to know each other on a different way.
That's right.
And to hang out and talk, because most of the time we're busy.
That's right. Yeah. So that's fun, and we get to have dinner together, and that was a beautiful competition, Savannah Dance Competition. So shout out to those organizers, including my good friend Donna Hamza. They did a beautiful job. So you were there with a student, and you compete quite a bit, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, and so about how often do you compete?
It changes. Right now I'm probably at 2 competitions a quarter. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it'll be more than that or less depending on my schedule and also my coaching schedule if I'm traveling on the road a lot. Because with my students, I really feel like I need to be there for them to get them ready for the event.
Yes.
I don't want to just show up and pray to God they do well. I want to make sure it's going to happen.
And I do have to say,
that's always a good thing to do.
I'm going to brag on you. You really make your students look great. And I've seen the one student that you happen to be with in Savannah, Ariel.
Yes.
She has done amazing under your tutelage. Amazing.
Thank you. But she's a beautiful dancer, very talented.
Oh,
Sweet.
How long have you been with her?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
How long have you been working with her?
Probably 5 years now.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Doesn't feel like it, but they tell me. They're like, it's been 5 years. I'm like,
I appreciate
really?
that, yeah.
Oh my God. I thought it was 2, so.
Oh, yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
I guess so, yeah.
So you said something about coaching. So explain what that is to people that might not understand that. So we have dance, we teach, but
We have dance coaches like any other sport. There's a coach. It's a third person or a second person to watch and help guide people on what they're doing. So I'll go into a studio, and most of the time they'll bring me in to work with either 2 teachers together, getting ready for competition, or a teacher and student, preparing them for competition, choreographing routines for them, or just working on their their regular social dancing.
oh, nice.
Just a husband and wife getting ready for just an event, and a lot of times I could just quicken the process. I could help the teachers kind of guide them on what to do on the next couple lessons, how to teach them what's going to serve them best, and do some shortcuts.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people say a coaching lesson is worth the same as worth the same as 10 private lessons.
I agree.
You get as much information.
Yeah, you get a lot of information.
Wow.
So speaking about that, because this is a big question that a lot of people actually have, is what kind of training does it take to become a dance teacher? So it sounds like you're training dance teachers, but what kind of training does that take?
That's a very broad question. It's like anything else. What level do you want to take it to?
Okay.
So to be a teacher,
Nice.
That makes sense.
You could have a short amount of time to be able to teach brand new people coming in or novices. To have more experienced students, to teach them, you have to have a little more training. To teach pros, you have got to have done it yourself.
That's a great explanation.
Actually, it is.
You've had to have
I'm
the
about to write
time
that
to. You've had the time to compete.
Are we recording?
I believe so.
But most of the time, you can't teach it if you haven't done it.
Yes. So,
Well, that makes
but
sense.
You can pass the written test. Like I could read a book on golf and probably answer all the questions correctly, but put me on the course, it just won't be pretty.
Yeah.
That's a funny
get
thing
it.
that you actually say on your lessons. I've heard you say that because
Yeah.
your students will say a nice thing about their dancing, and I'll say, "Oh, wow, that's great that you know that." And then you pipe in and say, "Yeah, they got an A on the written.
Yeah.
Now let's see what they do at the competition." So I just your lessons are funny.
Yeah,
They're fun.
I try to teach with humor because I feel, well, it kind of makes the lesson go by a little bit easier
Because
for both of us.
dancing should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And they'll remember more. They're going to remember because of the humor
Oh.
and how it was put. It makes
Sure.
it easier to, kind of get in the memory.
Yes, yeah, I enjoy listening to your lessons. So I think it was really interesting that you say, I really love the way you explain that. Depends on what kind of teacher you want to be. So you've had your own studio.
Yes.
And so did you have teachers in your studio that were new teachers, and did you have them teach new students? Am I making sense the way I'm asking that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, I've had several studios and I've had all level of teachers. So I've had United States champions in my studio.
Nice.
And I had people that just got out of the training process and were handling all the new people that came in the studio. And so I've had a mix of everything.
Yeah, so that's good. So it's interesting. I know when I was being trained, one of the things they said is, as a new teacher, sometimes you're best to teach a new person because you kind of can relate with them a little bit more. What do you think?
Yes, a lot of times, when a new student comes into a studio, we want to introduce them to the world of ballroom dancing. We want to show them that it's going to be easy to learn and that it's fun and that they can learn. And sometimes from an advanced instructor, we tend to teach them too much and we actually cloud the process. We kind of give them too much information too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Saturate 'em.
I can make them a dancer, as opposed to let's just kind of get them feeling what it's like to be a dancer. Then, maybe
Yeah.
they'll decide this could be fun. I'll want to do it.
Yeah, really good explanation. So, tell us about when you were a professional competitor. So, I mean, you compete right now, pro-am, what we call
Yes.
pro-am, that's professional with amateur. But what about professional partners?
I used to do that.
Yeah.
I've done it
Yes.
several times in all different styles.
Oh, nice.
And for several years, I've been dancing. I don't even want to say this. I've been
Zibba,
dancing
zibba,
probably, yeah.
A few
been da-
decades.
Yeah, right. I've been dancing for 38 years.
38, really?
38 years.
So you started, what, at 3 or something like
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
There we go.
I knew I loved you for a reason. Yes, and most of that time, probably a good 20, 25 years of that was competing professionally.
Wow, yeah.
I liked it. I loved it. I liked the idea of
Apparently
constantly.
so.
I like the idea of constantly learning, constantly getting better. I mean, that's one of the things that's fun about ballroom dancing.
There's
You're
so
learning
much to
something
learn.
new, and it feels better. And it's like, oh, this is exciting, or a new dance becomes a new fad, and all of a sudden you want to learn more of that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so,
Nice.
yeah, it's just exciting, and you become a better teacher. The more you know, the easier it is to teach. You could fix things.
Yes.
Sometimes the most frustrating thing is when there's a problem and you can't fix it,
Yeah.
and so it's just gets easier because you're like, oh, I can fix this. I got that.
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I've seen this.
Yes. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so,
I've seen
Seen it
this.
1,000 times.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yes.
yeah,
I see
there's
that.
so much to learn. So, do you still take lessons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I want to be current. I want to know what the latest techniques are.
Uh-huh.
I want people to double check me to make sure I'm still in what's in vogue now, what's still going on.
Because you're good.
Thank you.
I can brag on you.
Well, you're good too. You're amazing, Amay. Yes,
Amazing, but she has a good name to go for it.
it's great, huh?
Yeah, she's got the name for it.
I like to say Magic Mike, but it's already been taken. So,
You're the original.
yeah, right. But a lot of it is. Now I lost the question because we were talking about other things.
That's okay. Okay, so we were talking about your training.
Yes,
Yeah.
the fact that you, as a teacher, go to a teacher.
Yeah, you kind of have to. I think you want to be current. I've seen too many people that don't stay current.
Yes.
And so it's hard. Number one, I also want to, for my own, I just like the learning. I want to learn what's new and what's happening,
It's
but
fun.
also for myself as a teacher. I can't market myself if I don't have the latest and the greatest techniques to show somebody.
There you
I
go.
don't want to show, well, this was good 20 years ago, and it's still good today. It's not. What was good 20 years ago is definitely not good today. Some of the basic fundamental techniques, groundwork, yes. But if you want to get up on the dancing ladder of success, no. You got to be
Interesting.
what's with the
There you
program.
go.
Yeah. So you're always needing to educate yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a very good point. I like the feeling of being a student too, and then I think it helps me in this way in being a teacher. Like I get excited. I have a lesson today.
Oh yeah.
And I forget. Wow, dude. I hope my students feel this way. I'm excited. I have a lesson today because I get all pumped up.
Well, I think if you're excited, your students are going to be excited.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's that old saying, who motivates the motivator, right? And so we need to be motivated. We need new information. One time I was coaching, I was on the road all the time, and I was doing a lot of choreography. And I got burnt out.
Okay.
And then I stopped doing it for a while, and then I went for a lesson, and I learned a bunch of new stuff. And it was a dance I wasn't as fluent in. And all of a sudden, I started choreographing again. I'm like, bam, 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 bam. It was great. And I realized, I just needed new information. I wasn't feeding myself anymore.
There you go.
So it's hard to feed others if you're not feeding yourself.
Yeah, I see that.
Really, really interesting. Very important. Very important. So, what's the next competition that you're doing?
The one in Dallas coming up the end of September.
Southwestern
Southwestern
Invitational.
Invitational. Yeah, sorry.
You got so many of them in his head.
Remember it anymore.
I was going to say, check your phone. I'm sure it's in there.
You're gonna be here in town because I say that because you travel a lot. You have students in different states that you compete with,
Right now, my main student body is in Dallas.
and you live in Florida.
I live in St. Petersburg, Florida.
So this is
Get out. My mom's in Tampa.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Actually, most of my family's in Tampa, yes.
Okay, well, shout out to your family.
Thank
Hey,
you. Hey, right? You drive by
20
there.
minutes away. I'm like, yeah.
Well, depending on the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you know that area. Yes.
Yes, I do.
yeah. So you're going to do a little more business in Florida now.
I'm going to try to. Right now, I've been on the road coaching, and I've been on the road steadily for probably 5 or 6 years now. So I haven't been home for 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
A solid 2 weeks in a row for like 5 or 6 years. So I'm like, it's starting to get to me.
Yeah.
And I like the traveling. I
Hope
like
you got a
being with
big
different
litter
people.
box for that cat. Because I know you don't have a dog.
I actually have when I started traveling, I got a roommate, and they take care of the dog.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow.
So that works out great.
Convenient.
So, yes, I have 2 dogs and actually a cat that kind
Wow.
of adopted the house. They jumped the back fence, walked in the doggy door, and they're like, here I am.
That's how cats
Feed me.
are.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They adopt the house. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
So, yes, I'm opening up a place in St. Pete so I can start teaching myself there. Because right now when I'm home, if I was home for 2 weeks, I wouldn't be making any money.
Okay.
It'd be
That
kind of
makes
nice,
sense.
go to the beach, chill out, but, it's also nice to be busy.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So do you have information on your new studio?
Well, right now the website's up. It's called stpetedance.com,
Nice.
without the period after Saint.
Okay.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be it's a small little studio, but it's going to be fun. We're up teaching lessons, and it's going to be fun. It's
Perfect.
2 minutes from my house,
Yay!
which
Oh
is
my god.
great. We are so brand spanking new that lately I've been waking up in the morning. It's a mile from my house, so I've been waking up in the morning, jogging to the studio, putting out some signs in front of the studio like we're now open, and then jogging back home.
I love that.
Wow.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's really
Getting
good.
your road work
so
in.
just to show you though, just in terms of how great of a teacher, competitor, and coach he is, people are, hailing him from another state.
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't know that you were not local. I thought you lived around here. So.
That's what a lot of people think that because I'm in and out quite a bit. But like last week I was in Virginia. And then I had a client fly out for the weekend to come just take lessons in St. Pete, and now I'm here.
Wow, impressive. So, what do you think about being a studio owner?
That is such a good question. I think
I thought you were giving me the Badlands for
Yeah,
a second.
right?
no, because it really depends on where you are in your life and what you want to get out of your life, right?
Right.
I mean, that's one of the nice things about the dance industry is that there's so many different things to pick from, and you can do everything. You could be a teacher, you could be a professional competitor, you could do both. You can manage a studio, you could manage a whole region, you could own a studio. So you could do everything.
You can own a competition.
You could own a competition. Dallas Dance Classic.
Yeah.
April 21st, 2018.
There you go.
In Grapevine, Texas.
There you go.
Finish up,
That's why I
right?
brought
Yeah,
that
right.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you have
And But you could do anything in industry. You could travel and coach. You could do it all. So it depends on what you want for your life. What type of life do you want to build in the studio and also outside the studio? Do you want to raise a family? What are you going to do?
Right.
You know, if you're going to have a family, after a while, you don't want to travel as much.
This is true.
Some people have a family and they do want to travel as much. So it really depends on a lot of factors there.
Time away from home.
I gotta
Reggie.
go.
I have to go.
It's time to leave again. I'm going on the road.
I'm on the road again.
So I like having a studio. I like the idea of training new people. I like the idea of bringing in new people. The last studio I had was in Safety Harbor, Florida. And it was just the best thing to go and see all the students interact and the friendships that we're building and see it happen in front of you.
Yes.
Safety Harbor is a small, great little city. Not far from Tampa.
Actually, yes.
And there were a lot of restaurants that had little bands playing stuff. So we would take the studio party. I'd go, okay, the party's going to be down the block, this week. And everyone would meet there, and they'd all meet ahead of time to have dinner. Then the staff and we'd show up. And we'd dance with everybody. It was just interesting to see the camaraderie and the friendships that developed. Plus, it's fun to see them improving the dancing, too. The dancing was a big part of it.
Absolutely.
But it was kind of nice
It's a
just
whole
to see
experience.
the friendships and everything that developed from people and how people changed their lives just by being in the environment. And, the studio life and what that does to people is it's amazing.
Yeah, and because dancing is a vehicle that introduces you to people, introduces you to this whole experience of a studio, and then you took things out of the studio.
It was fun. So being a studio owner has its rewards, and it's also having a business, so you have your stressors too.
Yes.
Sure. Absolutely.
So it really it's a decision people need to make for themselves, what they want to get out of their life. You could do in this business, you could do anything. And once you learn to be good at your craft, you could open up your own doors.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. He is really...
The guy is full of life, isn't he?
I love it. Yeah, and you
It's a
are
live
really
wire.
giving great information. This is exactly what we like to talk about, is how many different avenues you can go once you enter into the world of what we do, ballroom dancing. And it is important to know how to teach and to keep your craft.
Yes, so that's another good point is I was lucky to be trained by some great people in the industry. And I was trained dance-wise by some amazing people and also business-wise.
Okay.
And so that's a lot of it too. People could be a great dancer. Well, it's like any other industry. You could be a great dancer but not know how to run a business. Or you can know how to run a business and not know how to dance.
Right. Got to know both.
And it helps to know both, but
Yes.
no matter what you choose to do, it's to make sure that you have the right training.
This is an interesting point that our last guest brought up.
Absolutely.
Yes, was having the right person train you, and that there's sometimes a lot of misinformation out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is really exciting to talk about all the 38 years.
Yes, right.
Yeah, and still going and still dancing. I love that. So as a studio owner, what is the biggest challenge? You think it's staff?
That's a loaded question. Yes, it is
I'm
staff.
full of loaded staff.
It is staff.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the hardest thing with the industry is that, like, if I had say an accounting firm and somebody quit, okay, I could put an ad in and get an accountant the next day. If I have a trained instructor and they leave me,
Yes.
or I decide to let them go, then I can't put an ad in the paper and the next day get a trained instructor. And it is a people-driven business. I mean, you're with your instructor, you're with your teacher a lot, so you have to make sure that personality kind of,
It's very important.
jives together.
Yeah.
So that's important. You can find someone that's a great dancer, but with no personality.
Yeah. Run off your customers.
Right, and also you're not going to get the communication going. You're not going to be able to give the information to the people. Mm-hmm. Or they're not going to be at the receiving point. If you're not fun with people, you're not good with people, they're not going to be at the point where they're going to really listen to what you say or pay attention. They'll be like blocking you out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure, they will block you out.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you about being good with people. Because I have seen at competitions some teachers be very ugly to their students. And I feel like that's really unnecessary.
It is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Certainly
when
is
I see-
unprofessional, yeah.
Oh, very unprofessional. And when
Come on,
I see
come on,
that,
really?
I'm looking at them thinking, it's time to get out.
Yeah.
It's time to do something else.
Yeah.
Just don't teach anymore.
You have to love people, don't you?
Yes.
I believe so too. Yes, 100% agree with you. Yeah. So
And funny, and I don't think of myself as a people person.
Shut up.
Isn't that funny? I'm the type of person, if I'm on a plane, I am not going to talk to the person next to me. I'll be like, nope, I don't do conversation things. With a student, it's totally different. When I'm one-on-one with the student, it's totally different.
So do you kind of consider yourself an introvert then?
Yes.
Wow. That is interesting.
You have to look that up in a dictionary, brother.
I think of the
Doesn't suit you.
definition of an extroverted introvert, like in a safe environment,
Sure.
which would be a studio, then I'm great.
Yeah. Well, no, it's interesting because somebody did tell me this, and I'm not an expert at this, but that an introvert gains energy by being by themselves, kind of like recharge. And an extrovert gains energy by being around a lot of people.
Okay, then I would be an extrovert. I do not gain energy by being by myself.
That's why I'm saying you
I
need to
gain,
really
peace,
look.
I gain peace of mind
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sometimes I need to be alone with my
Yes.
thoughts.
with my thoughts, glass of wine.
Glass of wine,
Um,
some alcohol of any kind, yes.
I'm just not a chatty Cathy when I get in a group of people. Let's just
Gotcha.
say that. So if I'm
Yeah.
at a party,
Yeah.
I'm normally by myself in a corner. I'm not talking to a lot of people. I don't start the conversations. If I'm in a studio and you give me a mic and you say, okay, let's get this party rock and rolling, all of a sudden it's showtime. I'm good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my
There could be
core,
1,000
got it.
people here talking a random subject. I can do that.
I got you.
Going to a party and saying hi to a group in the corner, that's a little tricky.
Really?
Wow. Wait, no, I bring that up because somebody out there that's wanting to be a dance instructor, let's say it's their dream, and really, if you want to do that, you have this passion, like, I have to dance. I really want to do this. Sometimes they may think, well, I don't know if I'm a people person enough to do that. But I have met instructors that are actually off their lesson or not in front of a mic are kind of shy.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Yeah.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
And also, people person, you're one-on-one most of the time in a private lesson. And everything else, you learn how to handle a group, how to teach a group if you're doing group classes. And it gets to be a safe zone. So it's easier.
Gotcha.
And not everyone's personality is different, right? And that's what's great about it. Because we want to make sure that we used to have a trainer that came and they go, it would be great if every time a new student walked in the studio that a light bulb would go over the proper teacher to put them with. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
if say a student comes in, they're very quiet and shy, and they're getting a teacher that's bouncing off the walls, they're going to clash right away.
Yeah.
And so we don't want all the personalities to be the same. We don't want all the personalities to be bouncing off the wall. We want some people you could be passionate and quiet,
Sure you can.
and be excited about what you're doing, or you could be passionate and loud and bouncing off the walls. And so how is it going to relate best to what client is really what we're looking at, too.
Yeah, that was interesting. You got light bulb, ding.
Yeah, but
That's
it makes
fine.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Because
Sure it does.
it's all about your personality and just getting along with people.
Yes, yeah, and that's why people do reach out to instructors or coaches in different states, because that teacher really speaks to them or communicates in a way that they really
Yeah.
accelerate their
Yeah, the light bulb went over that guy's head.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Ding. Oh, that guy.
It was a whole share of the lure.
yeah. So the competition students that you have right now, how did you acquire them?
I was actually helping out a friend of mine. I sold my studio in Safety Harbor. A friend of mine had a studio and she lost her top instructor, and there was an event going on like 2 weeks later. And she called, she goes, "Can you just dance with these people?" I'm like, "Sure. I'm free right now." And I danced the event, and then she goes, "Can you help teach a little bit?" And
Can
then
you stay a little longer?
Yeah.
and so I go, when
Put the
I'm not
hook in.
coaching, I'll come over and teach a little bit. And then I just get excited about activities. It's kind of built in my DNA. And then all of a sudden I'm
yeah,
like,
it looks like it.
"Oh, there's a competition.
Extrovert.
There's a competition coming up. We should go." And I'm like, "Oh, I just asked them to go to competition. I guess I'm going now."
Yeah, I guess I'm going.
And then they started going, and we just kind of, she sold her business. All of the clients decided to stay with me.
Very
So that's how I have the
nice.
clientele in
Yeah.
the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have a lot of friendships, long friendships in the dance business.
Yes.
You're a nice person.
Thanks.
You keep your friends.
I try to.
Yeah, and that's important. It's important to keep the friendships and reach out to people because, like you said, different times of your life, you want different things. So you had a studio, you decided to sell it. Was that like being a boat owner, like your happiest day is the day you get the studio?
No, yes and no, because, here again, I'm opening up another one in St. Pete. It's not going to be with a lot of staff or things like that. I want something smaller now. It just kind of happened that it was time for me to step away from it.
Gotcha. Do you still enjoy traveling?
Yes, I'm always going to travel with this industry. I love it. I just don't want to have to do it every week.
Yeah, it's nice to be like 2 minutes from your own studio, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice. And be home a little bit.
Yeah. Do your dogs recognize you?
Yes, they do, but my friends don't. They're like, who are you? So that could be tricky.
They keep these pictures up everywhere so the dog goes like, oh yeah, I remember you now.
Yeah. Yeah, my roommate has flashcards before I get home. Remember, look at the face.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't shoot this guy.
Yeah.
If the dog recognizes him, we're good.
We're good.
Yes.
Wow. So, did we get everything that we needed to get?
I think so. I just want you to say one more time, talk about your competition coming up in April.
Now, you own this thing?
Yeah.
Yes, me and my best friend, Lisa Solomon.
Oh.
She's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yes.
And we decided to have a competition. And there's so many different types of competitions, right? So there are like ones that last 3 or 4 days, some that last a week. And the state of Texas is not a lot of one-day events. And a lot of times in Florida, we do a lot of one-day events, one-day competitions. So we decided to have one here. It just makes it easy for people. A lot of times, like anything else, you want to have a goal. When we're preparing for a goal, we're a little more focused. So when the students are getting ready for a competition, it's not necessarily about competing or I have to win. That might be 1% out of everybody that competes.
Right.
Everybody else, don't get me wrong, it's still nice to win. But
Yeah, I was going to say, it's nice to get your, get the trophy.
But it's nice to have a goal, something to get ready for, because they become more focused. And as a teacher, we know we have to get them ready, so we're more focused. So
It's a win-win.
yes, the better you become better. The minute you decide to go to competition, you automatically start getting better. And to have something that's local and a one-day event, it makes it easier for people.
Yeah, this is true.
They don't have to worry about a lot of the expenses of traveling, getting off of work, staying at a hotel.
Yes.
But it's still nice to have a goal to get ready for something. As a teacher, I'm always striving that my students do something. I don't care what it is, just do something. So
That's
we get ready for something.
Very important.
And I need that for me to keep me motivated.
Yes, that's a very important.
I need to have a goal.
That's how I, keep slim. I need a competition actually right now, so I can slim down a little because
I'm right there with you. All of a sudden, competition. Oh, 5 pounds gone.
Right. I got to put my costume on. Got to look good. Yeah. So it's a
my
motivator.
God, yeah, and also, me being around as long as I've been around, the other teachers on the floor are like much younger, and I don't want to look like the old guy on the dance floor. So I want to make sure I stay in shape, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
I still got this.
right there. Okay, a little bit more about your competition. So the date?
It's April 21st,
Uh-huh.
2018.
Yes.
Courtyard Marriott Grapevine.
Good.
It's the convention center there, so it's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a great ballroom. It's beautiful. Everyone who walks in, they go, oh, look at the chandeliers. It is just beautiful.
Oh,
Dressing
that's
areas.
nice.
It's very easy to get to.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes from DFW.
Right, that is.
How do they find out about it? The
It's
competition?
easy. DallasDanceClassic.com.
That's easy. That's perfect.
I'll
Thank
make sure to
you.
have that scrolling along the bottom of this thing.
That sounds good.
Great.
All right. Well, I'm off the mic here now. We're going to wind this thing up here this afternoon. Michael, thank you for showing up.
Thank you for having me.
Dude,
Michael,
the
it's a
energy you
pleasure
give,
to see.
right? The energy you give off is ridiculous. Or we didn't need these damn lights.
Extrovert.
Extrovert, man. Look that up.
Okay.
Amay, thank you for being here as well.
Thank you, Jose. Another great podcast. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, folks. So this has been another episode of Dance Teachers Academy. You be safe. We'll catch you here next week.